This is not a drill. Across the Middle East tonight, air defense systems are active, naval fleets are repositioning, missile units are dispersing. From Tel Aviv to Tehran, from the Persian Gulf to the Red Sea, the region is bracing for what senior officials now describe as a credible risk of direct war. This is the moment analysts have been warning about. Iran has entered what Israeli security sources call the Israel Circle. And once inside that circle, history shows events move fast. The current crisis did not begin overnight. It is the result of years of shadow war, assassinations, cyber attacks, proxy strikes, and covert operations stretching from Syria to Iraq, Lebanon to Yemen. But something changed after Iran's last retaliatory strike on Israel. For the first time, Tehran launched a coordinated, multi-domain attack. Ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and long-range drones aimed directly at Israeli territory. Though most were intercepted, the message was unmistakable. Iran was no longer signaling, Iran was rehearsing. Western intelligence agencies assessed that strike not as a one-off response, but as a live-fire test of Israeli defenses, U.S. regional integration, and response timing. Tonight, multiple defense sources confirm heightened readiness across Israel's missile defense network. Aero batteries activated, Iron Dome interceptors repositioned, U.S. early warning radars feeding real-time data. Israeli fighter jets are airborne, some over the Mediterranean, others on rapid response alert. American destroyers in the region are now operating with missile defense radars fully engaged. This is what escalation looks like before the first strike. Iran's strength lies not in air power, but in missiles. Thousands of them. Short-range rockets, medium-range precision-guided missiles, long-range ballistic systems capable of reaching Israel, U.S. bases, and Gulf infrastructure. More concerning is Iran's claim and growing evidence of hypersonic missile development. These weapons travel at extreme speeds, maneuver mid-flight, and compress reaction time to seconds. Israeli and U.S. analysts remain cautious. No public confirmation exists that Iran has fully operational hypersonic systems, but intelligence assessments suggest Iran may have benefited, directly or indirectly, from technological insights originating in Russia and China. Even limited capability would radically alter the battlefield, because hypersonic weapons are not about accuracy alone. They are about overwhelming defenses. If war begins, it will not start with a warning. It will begin with saturation. Dozens, possibly hundreds of missiles launched within minutes. Ballistic missiles rising from underground silos. Cruise missiles skimming terrain at low altitude. Drones flying slow, cheap, and numerous, designed to exhaust interceptors. The goal? Create chaos in the sky. Israel's air defenses would respond instantly. Intercepts lighting up the night. Explosions mid-air over cities and sea. This is the moment planners fear most. Israel's defense doctrine is layered and tested, but not invincible. Iron Dome handles short-range threats. David's Sling targets cruise missiles and heavier rockets. Aero systems engage long-range ballistic missiles beyond the atmosphere. But in a full-scale war, Israel would not stand alone. The United States would be deeply involved. U.S. Navy Aegis destroyers provide missile interception. American radar stations extend detection range. U.S. Air Force assets protect bases across the Gulf. Gulf states, quietly coordinating, would activate their own defenses, even as they fear becoming targets themselves. Because in Iran's war calculus, U.S. bases are fair game. Air raid sirens could sound far beyond Israel. U.S. installations in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UAE are already on heightened alert. Missile defense systems tested, personnel movements restricted, naval traffic monitored closely. A single Iranian strike on Gulf energy infrastructure could send shockwaves through global markets within hours. This is why Washington is watching every movement in Iran tonight. While attention focuses on Israel, another front is already active: Yemen. The Iran-aligned Houthi movement has proven its ability to disrupt one of the world's most critical maritime choke points, Bab al-Mandab. In recent months, Houthis have launched drones and missiles at commercial shipping, warships, and ports. In a wider war, this front would ignite instantly. Explosive drones launched from Yemen, anti-ship missiles threatening tankers, naval mines forcing rerouted trade. U.S. and allied navies would be drawn into sustained combat in the Red Sea. This would not be symbolic warfare, it would be global. This is no longer about Israel versus Iran alone. Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, the Red Sea, the Gulf. Multiple fronts, multiple actors, one trigger. Israeli officials warn that the next war will not be contained and will not be short. So why now? Analysts point to three factors. First, deterrence erosion. Each exchange lowers the threshold for the next. Second, regional alignment shifts. Israel's integration with U.S. and regional defense systems has narrowed Iran's window. Third, internal pressure. Leadership credibility on all sides is tied to showing strength. In this environment, restraint becomes harder than escalation. Tonight, diplomacy is still active. Phones are ringing, messages are being passed, warnings are being delivered quietly, but military forces are already in motion. Once missiles are launched, there is no rewind button, no clarification, no de-escalation window, only response. This is how modern wars begin, not with declarations, but with radar screens lighting up, not with speeches, but with interceptors racing into the sky. The world has seen this pattern before. The question now is not if the region can absorb another conflict, but whether anyone can stop it before the first strike lands. The Middle East is watching the sky. So is the world.